The BMW exclusive offers weekend from 27 to 29 January at all BMW dealerships offers a full range of used BMWs and 2011 demonstration models at an interest rate of only 2.99% with no deposit. So, if you're planning a birthday, wedding, office party, school reunion, breakfast, lunch or dinner date, we suggest you reschedule, as everyone will be at a BMW dealership taking advantage of this exclusive deal. And so should you. Visit bmw.co.za/exclusive offers for more info. Offer available through BMW Financial Services, an authorized financial services and registered credit provider. Based on 42 months and linked to the prime rate. Offer subject to availability. Terms and conditions apply.
Every year, 10 million used tires are added to the 100 million already lying in stockpiles across the country. Introducing the Reducer Plan, a plan that will not only deal with the tires, but will also create a sustainable industry around their collection. Stakeholders have until 31 January to subscribe to the plan and comply with legislation. Visit reducer.org.za for information. Reducer, change tires for good. A Department of Environmental Affairs initiative.
Expect that kind of reaction if you're found tampering with any of the champion trees. The Minister of Agriculture, Forestry and Fisheries intends to declare 5 trees as champion trees, which will be added onto the existing list of champion trees. You're therefore invited to submit written comments on the proposed list by the 16th of March 2012. The trees proposed are as follows: Californian redwood at Table Mountain National Park in the Western Cape, as well as in Woodbush Plantation, Limpopo. The rose gum at the KZN Botanical Gardens, Pietermaritzburg. Sydney blue gum at the Susveld campus of the Nelson Mandela Metropolitan University, Western Cape, and the cottonwood tree at Parktown North, Gauteng. Comments should be submitted to Shumani Zavani, Department of Agriculture and Forestry, Private Beg X313, Pretoria 0001. To familiarize yourself with the proposed list of trees and for more information, call the department on 012-309-5765. Brought to you by the Department of Agriculture, Forestry and Fisheries.
Hi, I'm Valen Kirtley. I'm a Shake the World ambassador, which means that I support the 8 Millennium Development Goals set by the United Nations in 2000. Lime green, orange and dark green beads adorn my wrist because I support Goal 2, achieving primary education, Goal number 3, promoting gender equality and empowering women, and Goal 7, ensuring environmental sustainability. These are massive tasks which will need the energy of millions. My support is how I shake the world. How do you shake the world? Shake, shake.
This is SAFM. SAFM Sports Special.
17 minutes to go before the news at 5 o'clock. You're listening to SAFM, South Africa's news and information leader. The match between Norwich and Chelsea is a thing of the past, and it ended 0-0. Chelsea won't be happy with that, standing 4th on the log. They certainly would have loved to have taken 3 points from that game, but Norwich will be quite happy taking the one off Chelsea. A little bit earlier on, they just heard that Rumble in the Jungle clip talking about Muhammad Ali turning 70, and also, of course, that Rumble in the Jungle match. I've seen footage of it, obviously didn't see it live, but it's certainly something that's been talked about for many, many years, and Muhammad Ali and George Foreman taking on each other. Listen to SAFM, and apologies for the quiz question being a little bit late, but your quiz question for this hour is centered around cricket, and you can SMS us the answer on 34701. That's 34701. And it'll cost you R2. There's a lot of talk about Graham Smith. He's been in the media quite a bit, and criticism levelled around Graham Smith. But Tim put in a good performance yesterday, making a good 68. But I want to know from you, when was the last time he scored a one-day international 100? When was the last time that Graham Smith scored a one-day international 100? And also, if you can remember who it was against. 34701, and your SMSs will cost you R2. It's now time to move on to mountain biking, and joining us on the line for SAFM is Craig Wapnick, or also called Wapo, and he's got some interesting news that's coming out of the 9-day Old Mutual Joburg to See event. They've made an interesting announcement, Craig. Tell us a little bit more about the announcement.
I think I'd love to be here. It's great to be on the show. Thanks very much. We've got a situation where, a lot of riders have come to us and said, gee, we would love to ride across our country, but it's a luxury time-wise and sort of that we can't really afford, but we need a challenge. So we said to the guys, well, hang on, we've got this amazing route across the country. Why not just make it so that the riders can do Berg2c, which is only a 6-day ride. So in other words, the main event still remains the 9-day event, but like a half marathon in running, we've got a slightly shorter version to appeal to perhaps those guys that can't take that much time off. And I think it's just such a special route that we're very excited about that for them,
Well, tell us a bit about as well where it starts and the route that they're going to be taking. Obviously, it's a different format, and I think it starts 4 days into the normal event. That's 9 days.
Yeah, it starts 3 days into the normal event, but essentially the whole route of Berg2c goes through private farms and seriously fun single track and back routes, and then you get to the Scarp, which is basically the drop between Free State and KwaZulu-Natal. And I mean, it is so spectacular, and really the ride sort of starts there. In terms of the mountains in mountain biking, Berg2c actually begins there. And I think that's where we're starting the sort of 6-day version. And yeah, I think it's going to be something that the guys will be able to get their teeth into on day 1 of the 6th day. And then if you're riding Berg2c, day 4 is an extremely special day. So it'll be day 1 for the 6th day and day 4 for the 9 day. And I think it's just a special thing to have these guys in private lands, on going down some amazing trails, and I be very excited about it. Yeah.
Now, who is this event for? Because the 9-day event is very competitive and obviously very grueling. Who do you think this should be geared at? Is it going to be something that's going to be very competitive?
Well, you see, the market of mountain biking is really strange, actually. Mountain biking is an incredibly big sport, and it's also a hobby. It's also a recreation for a lot of people. And when I say recreation, I mean more like, if you're a trail rider, you're almost like an adventurer. But you can also be a racer. So for this particular event, we're trying to appeal to more of the trail riding stuff, people that have done a lot of work in terms of fitness, but the race will still be Berg2c. So, we're saying to people, listen, if you love riding mountain bikes, come and enjoy this. If you want to race, and if you love mountain biking, just come and just share the event with us. But it doesn't appeal to it won't appeal to the racers at this stage, because the race is Berg2c, and I think we people a trail rider adventurer.
Now, one of the highlights they can expect from the trip, and maybe some of the challenges that they would have to look out for.
Well, I think the incredible journey of different terrain is special for Berg2c and for Berg2c. I mean, we literally go through different climate ranges, we go through different farm styles. I mean, we go through rose farms, we go through mini farms, we go through dairy farms, and then we also into the Berg, where we've got like trails. So I think the challenge is to just absolutely enjoy it, and to enjoy it you need to be fit. There's no point in coming into this event thinking, well, you know what, this is just a social. It is a social, but only a social if you put the serious miles in and you actually love mountain biking. I think that's the difference. It's not a tick-off list. This is about loving mountain biking.
And in terms of training, Craig, what do you think is the best way to go about training? Because obviously it'll be slightly different from the 9-day event, taking out 3 days of it. How should people go about training for it?
I think the best thing to do is to just get on your bike as much as possible and ride great rides, because you get fit naturally that way. What I find is that you get quite an obsessive type person in this country who, when they do something, they actually go into full tilt, and they're stressed, and they've got to do times, and they've got to get their August time at a certain time. It's not about this. It's about get on your bike, go do amazing rides regularly, and you will be fit enough. You might not be fit enough to go as fast as some other guys, but you'll be fit enough to make it. But as long as you ride, and as long as you love riding, and I think that's the big thing. There's not a lot of events where you can just go in there and just take in the vibe and take in the communities and just ride your bike. And I think that's what we're trying to achieve here, and I think we have with Berg2c to a large degree. It's just a little bit too long for some people. And we're saying, well, come ride anyway,
You're listening to SAFM, and we're joined on the line by Craig Wapnick, one of the 3 organisers of the 6-day derivative of the 9-day Old Mutual Berg2c. In terms of entries, when do they open? How do people go about it? And is there maybe a website, Craig?
Yes, it is. Go to www.joburg, Joberg, with a little